Rise is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Live from the GBM studios in Belize City, it's Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right with your hosts, Sabrina Daly and Isani Caetano.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I am Isani Caetano. Good
and
morning.
Here's what we have lined up for you this morning as it relates to conversations you can look forward to. Starting off, a look at UB's medical school and the future of healthcare. Also, crowning confidence. We'll be meeting our Miss World Belize delegates. And speaking of pageantry, Libni Rodriguez, the woman behind the Miss Universe sash, will be joining us, and we'll also be talking to her. Also, Carnival season begins. Colors, culture, and the call to the road. Are you interested in this year's Carnival season? And finally, if you're looking forward to this morning's debate, the topic is separating the art from the artist. Do you believe that behaviors of artists could inevitably affect their legacy? We'll be talking about that as well.
And of course, here are the 5 things you need to know this morning. The PSU president responds to the Commissioner of Police's allegations. The PSU delivers its dispute letter to Government of Belize. And of course, we here at GBM are leading the pack in the 2025 CBU Media Awards with a record number of nominations. Plus, the countdown to KTV, the remix season 7 auditions continue, so if you're interested in being a part of it, come on down. And finally, we're kicking off summer with Oye's annual Summerfest. That's to be held on June 20th. These are the 5 things you need to know this morning.
All
Good
righty.
morning, Sab.
Good morning, Isani. How you doing?
I'm good. Hey, I forgot one thing that's equally as important,
Yes.
Sab. There's a Facebook poll taking place right now, and the question is as follows. What is the biggest issue Belize needs to address right now? Is it crime and safety? Is it the cost of living, healthcare, or education? Sound off on Facebook.
Beautiful. And
right.
our Facebook page is Open Your Eyes BZ, so definitely tune in and let us know your thoughts with that poll as well. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, Isani.
Tuesday's Wednesday, man. Are you living in the past?
You know what? Isani one never make I be great. He'll call me up on the spot. But yeah, I'm really not. Yesterday was an odd day. That's
Okay.
why. We hosted our morning show outside. we were at Courts Belize, and so that was a fun day. And so it really feels a little bit different. It feels kind of like a Tuesday this morning. But how you doing?
I'm good. I'm great, actually.
Yeah.
Supercharged and ready for the day ahead.
Awesome.
It's Hump Wednesday. We're at the middle of the week, and that means we only have a few days left.
Yes, we do. But I do know that a lot of people are following several developments taking place. It feels like we have been talking about the dispute between the unions and the government for quite some time now. It's been just about 2 weeks, I feel like, or maybe more.
More than 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's really been a long developing situation. I know most recently we've been also still covering what has been taking place with the Public Service Union, also the Belize National Teachers Union supporting them as well as it relates to several demands towards the government. But before we even get into that, I know that there's an even more interesting dynamic taking place.
Well, it's a tiff between the Commissioner of Police and the President of the PSU, where I don't know if it's allegations that are being made, but in the exchange of words between the Compol and the PSU President, there has been this question as to the cell phone number belonging to the PSU President showing up in this investigation that's being undertaken by the police department.
Yeah.
You would recall a few weeks ago, there was a confiscation of a quantity of marijuana that was imported into the country. And the allegations are that customs officers may have been involved in this illegal importation, right? And so they're saying that in their investigation into this thing, this number came up. That's an allegation being made, right? And so they compel in his retort, because last week the PSU president threw some words at the compel regarding the arrest of the Dangriga 11, if I could describe them as such, right?
Yeah.
And so that was where it all began. And so yesterday when we caught up with Dean Flowers in Belmopan, the question was put to him with respect of his number appearing in this investigation. And he was very frank and straightforward in saying, ain't so, right? And he called out his phone numbers and what have you. But this is just, like I said, an interesting twist in the mix of it all. We can't keep our eyes off what the actual situation is.
Yeah, and I think that's important what you just mentioned right there. Staying focused with what the actual matter is. It could easily be described as a deflection from what the real problem is. One of the things that crossed my mind, though, Isani, was for an investigation like the one that the Belize Police Department is looking at with the confiscation of marijuana. If that investigation is still ongoing, I'm not certain why the compal should have gone about sharing the number or suggesting that the president of the PSU might have been involved, especially if the investigation is still ongoing.
That's an excellent point to raise.
Because usually they're tight-lipped when they're still, investigating.
Yes, but admittedly there's an exchange or a war of words taking place
and
there.
That's what I wanted to point out. PSU President Dean Flowers said that he believes that was more about ego, pride. Of course, Dean Flowers called out the Belize Police Department saying that, why are you targeting these people when they're fighting on your behalf? You wouldn't necessarily be able to be a commissioner if you weren't a part of the public service as well. And so do we think...
Dean Flowers is my good friend, but here's a description, right? In a Creole, I said the man wasi. When you listen to how he, what he was saying yesterday at the PSU march and how he puts his words together in terms of putting forward the PSU's position on the pension, on this salary adjustment, sorry. Yeah, the man is very, very hot, let's say, right? But it's perhaps an interesting dynamic. You want leaders who are fiery. You want people who can be outspoken and put forward their positions without mincing words. Yeah. Right. So I think that's a trait or a quality that kind of leadership requires.
You have to have someone that will be able to get the crowd feeling as passionate and riled up. I think. Especially when you hear them going to the extreme of saying that they would even put their lives on the line for this pension. It really makes for an interesting headline, for
it's
sure.
Serious business, because when you think about this group of retirees, right, who have been clamoring for monies to be paid out to them from the 93, 98 Esquivel era with the whole BTL and everything. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that one. We've also been covering that, but to a lesser extent, admittedly so. But when you think about the fact that a lot of those people have passed on and did not and have not collected anything, much less the ones who are surviving haven't collected anything. And you put that in the context of what Dean Flowers and the PSU are saying, that they're prepared to lay down their lives for it. It's because they know and they appreciate how long drawn out certain processes are, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at that by comparison, you could probably reason with why they're saying, look, I was dead for mines.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm wondering at this point is, do we see this coming to a resolution anytime soon? One of the things I kept on saying last week was that, for example, the Belize National Teachers Union, they're at a critical juncture because summer is about to begin.
Yeah.
And with summer beginning, these kids won't necessarily need to be in schools. And so if their strike takes place, will it be as effective when children are at home?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the BNTU president said yesterday, if you want to draw it out, as in stretch it out, go right ahead and see what happens thereafter, right? But hey, I think this issue has been dragging on a bit too long in terms of being able to find an amicable solution to this entire problem. It's a dollars and cents issue at the heart of it all, right? The teachers and the public service are essentially saying, we have earned this 8.5% increase or adjustment, however they want to phrase it. Government, on the other hand, is saying, well, we don't got that kind of money. And I saw what purports to be an objective take at the whole thing. There's a little like an ad or something, an infomercial, so to speak, that's floating around on social media somewhere. It's propaganda really, but they were trying to say, look, this is how much it's gonna cost if we're able now to give the teachers and the public officers what they're asking for, right? And the hard line has always been where there's a will, there's a way, right?
Yeah.
Simply because monies can be allocated for other things, and teachers are saying, well, give we what due for we.
Yeah. Let's not forget that there are other unions still involved with their own plight as well. We have the KHMH Workers Union too, that are still very much in negotiations concerning their pensions and wanting their voices to be heard too.
No, I'll take a shot in the wild. This wasn't on our 5 things, but it's just crazy, and I think it needs to be discussed a little bit here. A high tension wire in Independence at the police station, and all of these motorcycles go up in flames.
Which were not the property of the
that's crazy.
PPD.
Yeah, I'll just leave that there. I'll just leave that there. That's wild.
Well, I do want to close off this conversation by highlighting some good news coming out of GBM. Yesterday we announced, because there was the CBU General Assembly meeting in Barbados, and that's really the assembly meeting before the awards, where every year, the Caribbean Broadcasting Union hosts their Caribbean Media Awards. And Great Belize Media, or they would know us as Channel 5 back in the day, we've been known to really put our best foot forward in this award show every year. But this year, we're proud to say that we have broken a record in nominations. We have a total of, I believe, 105 nominations this year, leading the pack. And I want to go to a quick presentation that was held yesterday, making that announcement of our nominations.
2025, a new leader in number of nominations is being crowned. The organization that led the pack with 103 nominated entries is Greater Belize Media.
103, that is, nominations we were able to make, and that's out of, I believe, a total of 500 something from across the Caribbean. I believe we were able to surpass our rival, which is Jamaica's RGR. They had 95 total nominations. And I'm just so proud, Isani, because I think CBU and the CMAs have now come to have a special place in my heart, because I'm actively involved in looking at these stories for the past 2 or 3 years. And I'm just so grateful to see the recognition just from this stage alone that is taking place, where all of these reporters and editors and everyone involved in various products that we put out, they're able to compete with other, well-known media houses across the region as well.
I share an interesting take on this all. So while I appreciate that the recognition is being given at this stage, as you said, for me, it's in the number of wins that actually take place, right?
Certainly.
'Cause it's like when I look at music awards, for instance, right? You have artists who are nominated in all categories, and then there's a shutout.
Yeah.
They don't win any, right? So I look at it from the point of view, okay, when we get the hardware, then we say, okay, you know what, we've done exceedingly well this year as opposed to perhaps previous years or what have you. But yes, 103 nominations is something at this point that we could accept as hard work paying off.
Yeah. For me, I think the reason why I celebrate it even from this stage is because it's the diversity that we've been able to put out. When you think of the categories for the Caribbean Media Awards, there are various categories, and each year there's new categories or some old ones that rolls over. And so for us to be able to have nominations of over 100, that means that we provide diversity in our newscasts as well. And that really speaks to the level of pride that we put in our product too. You know, oftentimes people say, you know, if it bleeds, it leads, or crime news are what really sells. But we've tried to ensure that we have variety in our newscasts, and you can see that in the various special segments that we provide. Culture Tuesday, Belize on Real, 5-Point Breakdown, Bright Side. It's so important for us to provide that diversity and show that there are various things taking place across the country and worthy of viewers knowing as well. And so I'm really excited. I can't wait to see what GBM walks away with. I'm hoping that we lead this year with wins. And regardless of what the outcome is, I know that we should be proud of our journalists here in Belize. But that does it for the 5 things, or 5 in a flash, that we think you should know. Aside from that, we do want to remind you that KTV is kicking up a storm. Auditions are set to take place on June 21st and June 22nd. And I know that a lot of you are excited. Oftentimes, Isani, it only takes one social media post on Facebook from the KTV page, and there are hundreds of shares and comments and interaction. People have really come to look forward to this show every single year, and we are at our 7th season. And so of course, as we always tell you, it's going to be bigger and better. And we're not just saying that. We encourage you guys to audition. We do want to remind you that virtual auditions are not taking place this year, so you have to come to our studios here on Coney Drive on June 21st and June 22nd from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yeah. So when I saw the ad, the initial call for persons who are interested in auditioning, and I saw familiar faces, right? Tremet and Andazi. And I'm thinking to myself, I wonder how the public will respond to the call this year in terms of the talents, in terms of those people who are out there who believe that they have what it takes to win $10,000 this time around.
Yeah.
And you know what is interesting, Sab? If you look at perhaps our talent pool, so to speak, right? And we're saying Belize is such a small country. How are we going to get all of these people to participate year on year? But we do.
We do.
And we do. And we're able to find a diamond in the rough at the end of the season.
And you do get some returning faces, but you're right, we do get new blood every single year. And this might not necessarily be able to connect directly when it comes to singing, but I was thinking of a post that went viral last week on Facebook, where the Bliss was sharing some of the performances from the Festival of Arts, from these kids. There's a kid that went viral that was doing like a performance to a song from Michael Jackson. Just amazing the way that he was able to really fit in the character and just perform so beautifully. Of course, that's dancing and we're talking singing here, but I think it really showcases the level of talent that we have here, and that's because he's a youth. Imagine these adults that are coming here and you know, they have a little bit more trained vocals, and of course we provide coaching separately with that. I can tell you that this year we have a new coach that will be on the scene, so you definitely want to look out for that. And she also has a history with KTV as well. And so there's a lot of surprises that we will be having in store. Aside from that, I know that you guys have also come to look forward to the guest judges as well, guessing who you think that person might be. Hisani did highlight that Tremet and Andazi are 2 of the returning judges that will be here this season, season 7. So please come out, come to the auditions. It's June 21st and 22nd. And it's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And so we're excited to see what you guys have to offer us. But moving along, Isani.
Our motivational quote this morning reads as follows. Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. Wow. Speak to the soul.
Yes. Short, but very powerful.
Very direct.
Yes. I think that's such a true statement. It's so easy to not do something because you're worried about it failing, you know. But oftentimes, all of us are, or oftentimes many of us are walking around with really big dreams that we're just fearful of even saying out loud because we think that it might not come true. But I think of a saying that goes, if the dream scares you, that's when you should do it, you know? And I wonder, you know, what's the percentage of people that actually took on their dream even when it scared them?
Because a lot of people, believe it or not, are risk averse. So they don't want to take that leap of faith, so to speak, to find out what's on the other side of that dream.
Yeah.
They just hold on to it and live in that moment, but they don't go the extra mile to realize it.
Are you a risk taker? Do you
I'm
think
calculated.
Okay.
I'll say that much. I don't jump into things head first if I don't know exactly what I'm going to meet on the other end of it. I try to, you know, figure it out first and then move forward.
Yeah. I think I could resonate with that same way of thinking as well.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily consider myself one of those people that have jumped in head first even when there's fear involved. In some cases I have, but I will say that I admire people that do that, you know, that really go in even when they feel the fear, but they do it anyway.
No risk, no reward.
That's very, very true. We also want to remind you that Summerfest is coming up, and as Isani said, we are opening summer with Summerfest. Speaking of the Bliss and Festival of Arts taking place, I always hope that we can go and do some recruitment for the kids there and really scout the talent, because we're so excited to showcase that when Summerfest comes around. That's our way of giving back to the kids. We oftentimes also have school tours here, and I'm always really shocked to know that there are some young kids who are watching Open Your Eyes as early as 6:30 in the morning. They're locked in too, right?
That's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It speaks to the breadth of our viewership, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And so we're excited to say that Summerfest is coming up. That's June 20th. And so we encourage you guys, especially kids, to definitely share your interests if you would like to come on that stage here in Belize City and perform your hearts out. One thing we can tell you, it's not subjected to only singing alone. You can come here, sing, dance, act, do a magic trick. We don't care. We just want to see your talent. And of course, I'll be there with you guys, so I'm always really excited about that too. Alrighty. Well, that does it for some of the things we think you should know. We do have to take a quick break though, but please don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll be talking about UB's medical school and the future of healthcare in Belize. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
My name is Christian Palma. I'm the owner of CRK Services, and I've been operating this business for 7 years in Big Falls, Toledo District. I use the Belize Bank online services because it's quite fast, reliable, and easy. Before I started to use the Belize Bank online services, I had to make a lot of trips into town, which cost me a lot, especially fuel. So the fact that I have to use my credit card every day, I can do an online instant payment and make my life easy. My customers can do payments towards me and it reaches in instant. It's fast, it's convenient for my business. I don't have to be up and down. I can do it anywhere I want. I would recommend you using the Belize Bank online services, because for you, it will save you a lot of time.
When it comes to running W, we give you the best quality and the best taste for you, cause we're all about quality naturally. Since 1983, we've been serving everybody. Running W brand, it be all of we. If you wanna eat healthy, just give me somebody nice drink. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Sir, your item is ready for viewing.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family, as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Corozal, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Save, save, save. The credit union way.
Member owners are encouraged to save regularly, borrow wisely, and repay promptly.
No use keeping the money in your pocket. Soon as you turn wrong, you know you ain't got it. So as money goes from hand to hand, give your cash to the umbrella man. I telling you, save, save, save. The credit union way. Save, save, save. It will make you rich someday.
My name is Leomar Langzert and I'm a teacher and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is to see if the features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer, with these online that Belize Bank offered, is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
Let's all be safe during the rainy season. Belize Electricity Limited reminds you that heavy rains can cause flooding in your neighborhood and on roads. Avoid driving or walking in flooded areas, which can have hidden dangers such as debris and fallen power lines. Belize Electricity Limited cares about your safety. Please stay safe.
One of the things that I like about pediatrics is that it's never just about the child, it's also about family, extracurricular activities, sports, school, all of those things we get involved in. I think one of the nice things is also that it's about empowering families, or giving them the knowledge that they need. It's actually about forming a community of people who support each other. We're in this parenting journey together.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Hey Belizean students, ready to unlock your future? The Social Security Board is now accepting applications for its 2025 scholarship program. Whether you're aiming for vocational technical, high school, or an associate degree, this is your chance. To qualify, you must be a born Belizean accepted to a school in Belize, entering high school, trade school, or college for the first time, demonstrate financial need and academic potential. Don't wait! Learn more and apply online today at socialsecurity.org.bz. Deadline is Friday, June 27, 2025. Remember, only online applications are accepted. Unlock new opportunities for success with a scholarship from Social Security.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa. And for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Benny's is kicking off Father's Day with popping deals for dad. In the month of June, visit a Benny's near you and get 19 to 25% off selected items such as Milwaukee and Axie power tools, Charbroil barbecue grills, car care products, Karcher pressure washers, and much, much more. Make dad happy with popping deals for dad in June, only at Benny's.
Benny's, Benny's, oh, Benny's, Benny's. Benny's, Benny's, oh.
This summer, get ready to feel the heat, the beat, and the energy of Belize like never before. It's Summerfest 2025. Live performances from Belize's most talented kids. Come and enjoy food that sizzles and cold drinks for the kids. Cultural displays and loads of giveaways. Join us at Memorial Park in Belize City. See you all at 6:30 a.m. on June 20th for Summerfest 2025.
Where summer comes alive!
All right, welcome back. There's a slight delay in our first conversation, so we will inform you in just about a moment when we will be starting our conversation with the UB Medical School. But before that, Isani, I think what's worthy of discussion at this point would be a little bit of devil's advocate. We were talking about it earlier where we said that this morning we will be speaking about the separation of art from artist. Now, this is an interesting conversation. I think it's one of those discussions that could be related to any particular region. I know, especially in the United States, people tend to really idolize artists. Here in Belize, we've also come to appreciate the artists that we've seen, musicians, and even other types of art forms. But oftentimes the question does go about, where are we separating art from artists? We're in an era where cancel culture is so extremely prevalent. Do you believe that you can separate art from artist?
Certainly.
Okay.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go.
All right, here it is, right? I look at music first and foremost. That's my wheelhouse. So we'll go there,
figured, yeah.
right? I keep thinking about R. Kelly's body of work.
I was thinking of him too.
That's just one example, right? Keep thinking about R. Kelly's body of work. And admittedly, while some of the music may not necessarily resonate with me, the sexual stuff, not my cup of tea, right? I don't need to hear that.
Yeah.
But there are certain records, there are certain albums, and there are other pieces of work that he's been involved with that, for me, withstands the test of time. Despite his conviction for those crimes and what have you, my argument is this, right? That I believe that art is one thing, the individual is something else. Now, people will argue, and I could respect it, that in some instances art imitates life and vice versa, right? And that's an argument that can be had. But I'm simply saying, when I listen to certain songs from R. Kelly, I Believe I Can Fly, maybe that came from a place where it was genuine and it's motivational and inspiring. So if, imagine, Sab, you're at a graduation and this becomes the song that motivates these graduates.
I know.
Do we look and say, oh, that because of R. Kelly, so we're not playing? I
believe here in Belize, we don't really take it that serious, though.
Beyond that, right? My other example here is Sean Diddy Combs is going through it at the moment. And when you look at the Bad Boy catalog, it's some of the best music recorded in the 90s, early 2000s. Do we say now that because he may or may not be convicted, we'll shelve his music altogether? I don't know. Because, again, coming from a radio background, it's undeniable some of the songs that were produced under his tutelage at Bad Boy Records, right?
Yeah.
And I look at another one. If I look at, this is like way back in the 70s, early 80s with Phil Spector. Phil Spector was convicted of murder as someone who was deeply involved in music at that time, right? But he produced some of the best music of that era.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm saying, look, if the body of work is excellent and it's worth listening to, I can separate you and your convictions against what you've put out there, right? And then there are some people who, there are certain allegations that are made. Some founded, some unfounded, but the allegations are equally damaging to where public perception becomes one thing.
Take Chris Brown, for example.
Not even going to Chris Brown, I'm trying to bring it back local, right?
Okay, yes.
If I think about Loverboy and Tornado.
Hubie.
Tornado is an excellent song. Do I say because these allegations are made against Loverboy that I won't listen to that or dance it when it's played or what have you? A good song is a good song, right?
Yeah.
And that's my position. Art can be separated from artist.
All right. So
let's hear you.
I believe that art should not be separated from artists. I will say that this is the point that I chose to debate on. But a few things I think could support this notion. One, as artists, I think we also have to recognize the level of influence that we have. And with that should come a moral responsibility. And so I love that you highlighted, for example, Sean Diddy Combs and the case that's currently before the court. When we think of him as an artist, maybe not necessarily his lyrics, but when we look at R. Kelly, some could peel the layer backs and see that there were some of his lyrics that were in fact suggestive of the lifestyle that he led. I will also say, though, that there are certain cases that have actually gone to court, and artists and their art, legal personnel have been able to use art to convict individuals because of that.
So
yes.
we're gonna
so
go,
I went and I did some research.
You're protected by First Amendment rights in the United States. That's the first thing, right? That's holy grail. So if you're talking about lyrics being used, yes, they have attempted to. They have attempted to. We're not going to argue that they haven't tried. But the success rate for that has been very, very low in terms of the threshold.
But regardless of the success rate being low, it has been done. For example, 2016, there's this rapper called TK or something like
so
that.
that's that one.
Did it work? Was it used as evidence? So that's my point. Wait, let me finish. Let me finish.
So you're going down a rabbit hole with that.
No, I'm not.
He actually killed people.
Yeah,
and then rapped about it.
Yeah.
No, with art,
so
just
so
like
that
with
could
the
be
movies,
used as a means of expression, Isani.
With art, just like with the movies, actors can act a certain role.
That's not the same thing.
But that is still art.
No,
that's
it's not.
Expression.
No. You're going down a rabbit hole now. That's completely different. You are the writer of your lyrics. No, I'm not saying that. But you are trying to. You're doing apples and oranges, Isani. No, let me finish my point, because I listened to everything that you said when I wanted to interject. Thank you. And so TK, who is also, I guess his government name is Tamar McIntyre, he was convicted.
55 years or something like that.
Yes, in 2016. Yeah. His lyrics were used as evidence, Isani.
Because he literally killed people.
Yeah, but that could also be said that he could have. There are so many rappers that speak about that, Isani. Speak about harming people.
But they don't.
But how do you know that?
They don't.
But how do you know that?
If you listen to music, a lot of times people sing about things that they did not live or what have you. And that is why they're protected by the First Amendment. There's a freedom of expression that allows them to be able to do that, right? So if you sit there and you pen a lyric that says, okay, I sell drugs, I kill, I do all of that, but in reality you don't do that, do they use your lyrics and say, but you say you sell drugs, you kill? No, you're protected by the First Amendment rights.
So then how is it?
That is the reason why there's a separation between the art and the artist for that very same reason.
So that's just one example of where.
And that's a perfect example. But that's because the person actually lived his lyrics.
Yeah.
Right?
And again, I think you are trying to, you're trying to make that example seem like it's not a legitimate one.
Okay, so here's the other one then.
Yeah, but
Why do you think
point,
Young Thug is
Stan?
out right now? Why do you think Young Thug is out right now with the whole RICO case that was brought against him several years ago? Because they also tried to use lyrics.
And there wasn't sufficient evidence from
and
that.
That's what I'm saying. The threshold for that is...
So Young Thug just never used his artistic means to express in detail what he did if he was involved in a RICO case.
Look,
that's just that.
They've tried so many times to use rappers' lyrics against them in a court of law, and it really doesn't hold because they're protected by freedom of expression.
That aside, we can't deny that, as I started by saying, we are in an era of cancel culture, and people take very seriously what you stand for, your actions, they align that, and they will cancel you. I take, for example...
I'm not a fan of cancel culture.
I'm not either. I really will say I'm not either. But I also take, for example, Tesla. The sales of Tesla have significantly dropped because Elon Musk was so involved this year with Donald Trump and being a part of...
Elon Musk is a very polarizing individual.
Yeah, but that aside, and I will say that's not art in this case, but it really goes to show how people look at you and your values and your moral representation, and they decide if they're going to support you based on that alone.
Yeah.
Here in Belize, I think we're still a bit away from that.
Nah, hey, surprisingly here in Belize, because we're so heavily influenced by the United States, we're adopting that cancel culture foolishness.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, Sab, right? I'll make an informed decision as to how I feel about you or how I'm going to interact with you. It can't be that you do one thing wrong and I say, hey, you know what, man, cancel Sab.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't feel like we did it yet, though. I will say that. I don't think
we're
we're there yet. Maybe we might be there. Take, for example, so many politicians. I feel like the real celebrities here in Belize are the politicians, right? And so many mistakes happen day after day. And who goes right back in government again? The same ones again. So, I don't know. I think we'll definitely talk about it. We're going to shame you for it. But we're not necessarily not supporting people still. So that's quite an interesting discussion. I think we could have definitely throw blows after a minute. But we want to hear your thoughts on that. Do you believe that you can separate art from artists? Or do you believe that, it's very much connected? People care about the art and the artists and what they stand for as well. We do want to continue along our show at this time. We did mention that we have upcoming UB's medical school talking about the future of healthcare in Belize. And so we will be taking a break. And then when we come back, we're going to be having that conversation.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Carnival, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
KTV The Remix Season 7 is back, and we're looking for the next superstar.
If you've got the voice, you've got what it takes to own the stage,
Then step up and show us what you've got at the official KTV The Remix Season 7 audition.
Right here at the GBM Studios on Coney Drive, the 21st and the 22nd of June, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Whether you're a powerhouse vocalist, a smooth crooner, or a soulful performer,
your turn to shine under the lights right here to remix your future.
the winner walks away with $10,000 prizes and bragging rights as Belize's next top talent.
Only the best make it to the list. Will it be you? KTV, The Remix, Season 7. It's bigger.
It's bolder.
It's awesome.
Let the remix begin.
This summer, get ready to feel the heat, the beat, and the energy of Belize like never before. It's Summerfest 2025. Live performances from Belize's most talented kids. Come and enjoy food that sizzles and cold drinks for the kids. Cultural displays and loads of giveaways. Join us at Memorial Park in Belize City. See you all at 6:30 a.m. on June 20th for Summerfest 2025. Where summer comes alive!
And welcome back. For our first conversation this morning, we have been joined in studio by Dr. Lisa Johnson. She's a dean at the University of Belize, and she's here to talk to us about UB's medical school and the future of healthcare in this country. Good morning, Dr. Johnson.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. We were really supposed to be a company of three, but we had schedules mixed up, and I bring greetings from the president, Dr. Vincent Palacio, to you all, and thank you all for allowing us this opportunity to talk about our medical school.
Excellent. So let's talk about the inception of UB's medical school and perhaps the vision of this particular initiative in terms of being able to produce nurses and doctors and healthcare professionals.
Well, I think the vision was just prior to the onset of the COVID epidemic. And the thoughts on that matter was we were already successfully training other members of the healthcare team, nurses, pharmacists, medical laboratory scientists, social workers, and that we did not, the vision of the university was, now that we had this healthy foundation of healthcare professional training, there was no reason that the university could not then move to this sphere, take it up several notches, and start training physicians. And the thought that we would be able to do that would certainly be a matter of pride for the country, not only for the university, but to be able to say that as a country and as the national university, that we are confident and capable of doing a medical program. We have had a lot of encouragement. We were guided along this, we took guidance along this process from the region. And I'm talking not only the Caribbean, but also there were interactions and trips to Mexico to see what they were doing. Excuse me, and also to Central America. There was an interaction with the Autonomous University of Nicaragua, and so there are a lot of information that was brought to bear to create the University of Belize School of Medicine. And from its inception, I think one of the things that the University of Belize board looked at was the fact that we could train the entire healthcare team. My experience of different systems is that it is better for the patient to have a team that's on the same page. Yeah. Able to communicate with the patient and able to communicate with each other on a international standard basis. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so this we can do, and this we are doing.
When you say on an international basis, can we take a moment to look at accreditation? Mm-hmm. It's graduation season, and we're seeing various students from across the country, Belizeans who have decided to migrate to study outside the country. They're posting their graduation pictures. I know notably we oftentimes look forward to students coming out of Taiwan and Cuba because those are usually your science majors, med students and whatnot. How accredited will the University of Belize Medical School be? Well,
we are a member of CARICOM. We're a CARICOM state. And as such, we are signed on to the regional accreditation body, CAMHP, Caribbean Authority for the Accreditation of Medical Schools and Other Health Professional Schools. Mm-hmm. And so it's that in itself is accredited to the World Federation of Medical Education. And so our aim in life as a medical school is to attain accreditation from CAMHP and to maintain that state. For us, it was the CAMHP package of documents was part of the guiding foundation to create the school. The school was created based on CAMHP standards. And so there was no getting around the fact that this has to happen, and it has to happen a certain way. So where we are now that we're in operation, we are still in our second semester for our first cohort. And at the end of that semester, there are certain reports that need to be generated. Once we have those reports, along with all the policies, information about the faculty, information about myself, everybody associated with it, will all be wrapped up into a huge application package and sent to CAMHP. And at this time, because we have started operations but have not graduated a class, we will be looking for provisional accreditation.
Yeah. Dr. Johnson, how competitive is it to be able to attract students to the University of Belize's medical school? When you look at other institutionals across the region, for instance, you have persons who would readily go to San Carlos University in Guatemala or elsewhere to learn medicine, to learn the health system and what have you. How competitive is it for UB to say, you know what, we'll take some of these students so that they don't have to go somewhere else?
Yeah, you can stay right home.
I think that's a big, that's a huge issue. The staying at home, while the cost is definitely a factor. For us, our fees are quite high for University of Belize standards in that this venture has required and continues to require a huge investment by the university. And so from a Central American point of view, the cost, we are not necessarily competitive with the cost, and it is why the university has taken steps now for this incoming cohort, because applications are open, to offer non-cash grants to our successful applicants. If you are accepted, you will be offered a non-cash grant. You will be asked to sign a bond for community service and service to the nation in exchange for the grants. Oh. And so while we have a set cost of what it is, and if you go on our website, you will see it. The university itself is making an effort to try and, at least for the first few cohorts that we take in, to try and help with the financial aid, in other words.
What has been the interest from these students? Are we seeing an increase in students deciding to stay at home and pursue their medical studies here?
I think students, I think we are still getting the word out.
Okay.
We've been to a few of the junior colleges in the districts. We have set up a pre-medical program at the University of Belize in the Faculty of Science and Technology. And I think there's only one other junior college that does that combination of subjects, biology, chemistry, and math at a major level, and physics as a minor. And so, Carnival Junior College, sorry. And so we have been trying to get the word out, not only about our program, but what can be done to prepare for entry into medical school. Of course, the bar is high.
Yes.
You need a 3.0 GPA, either as a holder of the associate degree in pre-medical sciences, or as a Bachelor of Science degree in biology, chemistry, or the life sciences like nursing and so on. So the bar is high, but from what we have seen at University of Belize with the pre-medical program, we had healthy intakes into that program, and that program launched the year before.
Yes, I believe.
And so we're seeing healthy intakes into that program for students to now prepare themselves academically. Financial thing is the
I imagine it differs based on the intake and the level that they're coming in from, whether it's from junior college or bachelor level. But generally, how long would it take to complete med school?
So it's a 5-year program. It's an MBBS program, a Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery. And when you complete the MBBS program in our system, you get a provisional license to do your internship. The internship is 18 months. At the same time, though, as a graduate when you graduate from a school that is accredited, you are able to then sit examinations and boards to enter into specialist training in countries of your choice. Mm-hmm. And so accreditation is important.
I think of Cuba, because a lot of students who pursue the medical field, because perhaps Cuba has such a robust program already, people go there as perhaps one of the top choices.
Yeah.
Belizeans, for that matter,
Taiwan as well.
Consider Cuba or Taiwan as one of the top choices. I want to digress from that for a second, though, and talk about the actual facility. We showed a video earlier with everything that you guys have at the lab. Speak to that for us in terms of what is being offered or provided in this course from the physical aspect.
So by the time I joined the University of Belize, the building had already been done. And so from a point of view of our laboratory facilities, we have a physiology lab, which we intend to upgrade into a skills lab, which means we need some high fidelity simulation equipment, very expensive. We have an anatomy lab, and anatomy is not cadaveric in the traditional sense. We're using software and models and apps to aid the students in learning anatomy. We had a field trip a couple weeks ago where Central Farm was able to provide us with a pig. The pig has a number. When I went to University of Toronto to do my trauma fellowship, and I did it many years after becoming a surgeon, I audited their trauma surgery course. They actually have a 2-day course, like how we have a advanced trauma life support course. And it was so very interesting. They had a wet lab at the top floor of the Lee Ka-shing building in downtown Toronto, and all of that training was done on pigs. So we use valves, heart valves from pigs to replace our own. That's a well-known and accepted practice. The skin is similar, and a lot of the anatomy is similar. So we went and we did a dissection, and students will, in the 3rd semester, will go and witness autopsies and so on. But they're already doing shadowing with clinics and hospitals in Belmopan. We also are putting into place a microbiology lab that we hope to get to the point where it's offering services to the public. So a lot of that equipment has already come in, and so we're in the process of setting up that lab.
Nice.
All right. Well, we do know that, as you mentioned, there's already been about, you said 2 cohorts of students?
No, we've had 1 cohort, which they are completing their 1st year. And so applications are open right now.
Yes.
And so we are looking forward to a cohort for August of this year.
And we kind of touched on the finances that are involved and that grants are available, but just to give our viewers an idea of how much it costs, say for example their 1st year, what type of investment they would have to make?
The true cost is $39,000 a year.
Okay.
With the grants, we are proposing for this intake to bring that out-of-pocket costs to about $20,000 a year. And the university is invested. The university sees this as an investment in Belize, a show of confidence in Belize and in Belizean students, and in the future that they will bring for us.
Yes.
So we're going to, of course, alert the lending agencies, in particular DFC, that has a student loan program, a well-known and a well-established student loan program. And so we will be alerting them formally that we are making some changes, and that this intake will be able to access grants.
And when is the application deadline?
I would like to say that we're never closed in that sense. We would, to make the August intake, we would like to close applications or have the admissions committee meet formally by the middle of July.
Okay.
But what we are doing is that for those who are qualified academically already, you have a greater than 3.0 average, you have an associate degree in pre-medical sciences, you have a bachelor degree in biology and chemistry, we can issue you with a conditional acceptance so that you can start to make your financial preparations.
Yes.
My final question for you, Doc, and I've been listening keenly to what you're saying about an investment being made into Belize via this particular program. But the issue of brain drain is very real, more so in the medical and healthcare sector. So when you're investing time, effort, and money into making young doctors, so to speak, but there's this flight where people are heading off to the United States and to Canada even in search of jobs in the medical profession, how do we ensure that they stay and ensure that we get a return on that investment?
Well, I think you can look at it from the government or the financial point of view, that it is an optimistic, it's a very optimistic view one has to have to invest in the future. And if we on our own as a country cannot be optimistic about the future of our young people, who's going to do it for us?
Yes.
And we want to be able to train enough people that people will go away to do other things. But I think doing medicine in Belize will give them a further connection and comfort with the country. It is a signal by the country of our regard for the young people of Belize that we are making this investment. I won't be here to see what happens in 20 or 30 years, or even, God forbid, tomorrow, or the next day, and so on. What we are doing is visionary, but necessary.
Yes. All right. Well, that's a wonderful way to wrap up this conversation. Before we take a quick break, it's just around 7:35, and so we do want to give you a traffic update to give you an idea of what it looks like here in Belize City. If you're just heading out and on your way to work, this looks like, where is this? That's Quality Poultry. That's Bell China Bridge?
Yes, that is a Bell
Yes,
China.
all right. So it looks like going in more into the city might be a safer bet. It looks very slowly, but coming out of the city, it's definitely picking up with traffic as well. So definitely take heed to that information if you are around that location. We're going to take a quick break now, but don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we will be sitting down with Libni Rodriguez. She is one of the Miss Universe candidates, and we definitely want to get to know her when we come back. So don't go anywhere.
My name is Christian Palma. I'm the owner of CRK Services, and I've been operating this business for 7 years in Big Falls, Toledo District. I use the Belize Bank online services because it's quite fast, reliable, and easy. Before I started to use the Belize Bank online services, I had to make a lot of trips into town, which cost me a lot, especially fuel. So the fact that I have to use my credit card every day, I can do an online instant payment and make my life easy. My customers can do payments towards me and it reaches in instant. As fast, it's convenient for my business. I don't have to be up and down. I can do it anywhere I want. I would recommend you using the Belize Bank online services because for you, it will save you a lot of time.
When it comes to running W, we give you the best quality and the best place for you, cause we're all about quality naturally. Since 1983, we've been serving everybody. Running W brand, happy all of we. If you wanna eat healthy, just give me some of the nice things. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Sir, your item is ready for viewing.
Is that all? This is everything.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Carnival, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Hey Belizean students, ready to unlock your future? The Social Security Board is now accepting applications for its 2025 scholarship program. Whether you're aiming for vocational technical, high school, or an associate degree, this is your chance. To qualify, you must be a born Belizean accepted to a school in Belize, entering high school, trade school, or college for the first time, demonstrate financial need and academic potential. Don't wait! Learn more and apply online today at socialsecurity.org.bz. Deadline is Friday, June 27, 2025. Remember, only online applications are accepted. Unlock new opportunities for success with a scholarship from Social Security.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Benny's is kicking off Father's Day with popping deals for dad. In the month of June, visit a Benny's near you and get 19 to 25% off selected items such as Milwaukee and Axie power tools, Charbroil barbecue grills, car care products, Karcher pressure washers, and much, much more. Make dad happy with popping deals for dad in June, only at Benny's.
Benny's, Benny's, oh, Benny's, 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 oh.
This summer, get ready to feel the heat, the beat, and the energy of Belize like never before. It's Summerfest 2025. Live performances from Belize's most talented kids. Come and enjoy food that sizzles and cold drinks for the kids. Cultural displays and loads of giveaways. Join us at Memorial Park in Belize City. See you all at 6:30 a.m. on June 20th for Summerfest 2025.
Where summer comes alive!
Welcome back. We are jumping into our next conversation, and as I mentioned, I'm joined this morning by Libney Rodriguez. She is one of the candidates for this year's Miss Universe Belize competition. Good morning, Miss Rodriguez.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's such a pleasure sitting down with you and hearing a bit more about your story.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Now, I can't imagine what your experience is like. I really can't. I've never been in this position, but I do know that Miss Universe and Miss Universe Belize is one of those pageants that it's highly coveted. It's extremely challenging and rigorous. And so perhaps we can begin with your interest in the first place in this competition. Why did you want to be a part of it?
Okay, so to start off, I'll be telling you guys a little secret.
Okay.
I actually applied last year.
Really?
And I was not selected. Like, you know, they gave me opportunity to grow, to experience stuff. And this year, I had no hopes of joining in simply because my baby was born sick and I wanted my focus to be on him. And I had a baby cousin, baby Ishmael. Many of you might know him. he passed away, and that completely changed my mindset. I wanted to be the voice for people, and that pushed me to wanting to do this. There's not a lot of people that advocate for children with disabilities, so I wanted to be like, you know, a difference in their lives.
So that's essentially your platform. You are advocating for children with disabilities. Yeah. And it comes from the story of a relative, a baby that was close to you. Speak about that, because when we look at pageants in this day and age, I think it's a lot less about the beauty aspect and more about the voice that you are using, what you're passionate about, using your platform, whether it's social media or just engaging with people and speaking about a cause that's near and dear to your heart. Speak about children with disability. What have you been observing here in Belize?
All right, so last year, November, I gave birth to my baby boy. Unfortunately, he was born with a malformation called gastroparesis. This is basically whenever their intestines, sometimes their stomach in a hole, are grown outside of their stomach, like outside of their body. It was extremely difficult being like, you know, a new teen mom, experiencing all of this stuff. My parents and my families are from Independence, and I was here at the KHMH hospital. But I also had, like I mentioned, my baby cousin Ishmael, who was also facing many complications, one being hydrocephalus, which is the built-up of fluid in his head. While I was in the hospital, I saw many mothers struggling to buy food, to just be able to stay somewhere to sleep. And that really opened my mind to so many things. Like, we are focusing on so many other stuff when these children are our next generation. Yeah. Like, we have to protect them, and we have to do as much as we can. Like, you know, seeing these babies suffer is truly heart-wrenching.
And so are you using your platform to highlight that this is something that is taking place more prevalently than we recognize, or is it that there are lack of resources that is needed for families and children faced with this?
Well, honestly, both. Because before my baby got sick, I wasn't really hearing about sick babies. I didn't know that they had like a NICU department with over 20 babies. Like, you know, so I'm highlighting that, but also highlighting the fact that there are many babies here in Belize that have to go abroad to get the medical care that they so deeply deserve. And many of these families have no financial support. And that is what I'm trying to be like, you know, I'm trying to raise funds, do fundraising, do all sorts of stuff just to be there, just to show the people that these babies need our help.
You know, that's a super ambitious task to take on yourself. I can tell you oftentimes we highlight families on the news and even on the morning show here that speak about the whatever they're in need of. And it's usually coming with a hefty price tag. But I definitely admire your advocacy. It's very different. I can tell you that for certain. I want to take the conversation down a little bit of a different path, because you spoke of being a teenage mother and a mother in general. And I think we've seen one of the changes to the Miss Universe organization being that they are welcoming mothers as well. What did you make of that announcement when it did come around? Because you said that you were interested from last year. I imagine you would have already had your son by then, yes?
No, actually.
You did not?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had him in November.
Okay.
And I had applied a couple months prior. Honestly, I did not see myself being a teen mom. It happened, and many of the time it just happens, right? And I'm not here to encourage it. Like, you know, if it happens, and you have to take responsibilities. And I'm also showing that, like, you know, even though being a teen mom, it did not stop me. Yeah. I am here, I'm pursuing my dream, I am making a difference. So it truly impacted me with the whole organization of the Miss Universe Belize, opening doors for so many mothers, so many women in general.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about what the journey has been like so far. I believe it's been just about 3 weeks or so since the activities have full-on been taking place, yes?
A month or so.
A month or so.
So.
But I understand that we're still running into it. You guys had like an intensive week, which is very different. I understand there's also like this a reality show where they're showing behind the scenes, very different as well. And then there's pageant week, which is next week, leading up to pageant day, which is June 20th. Talk about the entire experience, Libni, from intensive week to being a part of this entire production and now preparing for the final week, which is next week, and then pageant day.
Okay, so for the intensive weekend, it was honestly like nerve-wracking.
When you say intensive, how intense was that?
It was intense. We had to wake up like 4 o'clock to be ready and went to sleep like 12 o'clock in the night.
But what do you do? What are you guys doing?
So many activities. Like I went in not knowing how to do my makeup.
Oh,
thankfully, like, you know, during this intensive weekend, they taught us how to do our hair, how to do our makeup, how to walk, how to dress. And that was what made the intensive weekend so amazing. Like it was so many things I've learned, but it was challenging. When I found out I was pregnant, I did not use heels for a couple months, and going into that I had to wear my heels all day long. But overall, they always tell us practice makes perfect. And I brought my handsome coach with me today. His name is Micah. He has been nothing but super amazing to me. Coming into this, I did not have so much as financial support other than my mom and my partner. And when he reached out to me, it was truly amazing because he's my speech coach. He's my, like, you know, he helps me with my walk. He helps me with every single thing. And that has been truly amazing. Leading up to pageant week, it has been wow, because so many people are reaching out to me wanting to help with the donation towards these children, because even though Advocacy Month is finished, I want to continue. Like, this is not something that I'm just going to stop because pageant is over. So I had people reach out to me. I sent a couple donations, Pampers, whatever I can. And the intensive weekend also taught me about all of the stuff that I did not carry during that weekend.
Which were?
Which was like the pads for your eyes.
What do you mean pads for your eyes?
They have like these heating pads, and it's so helpful because that you, like, you know, you have on makeup all day, you're stressed, this is going on, that is going on, and it's just calming. Like, I have like 3 packs home. Which is not enough, I might say.
So some beauty essentials.
Yes, definitely. Like, you know, just basic stuff which I did not knew since I jumped into this, like, out of the blues, I would say.
My understanding of it, it's like a beauty queen boot camp weekend. But of course, the work goes beyond that weekend that they are calling the intensive weekend. As I mentioned, you are approaching your pageant week, which is next week, and then the final stage. I want to ask you, do you feel that you have what it takes to be the next Miss Universe Belize?
Well, thank you for this question. I truly believe I have what it takes. I come from a very humble family. This is something that no one from my family has ever done, has ever dreamed of doing. And I have just always been a bit different. You know, I always wanted to do my very best, to be in the spotlight, to show what is missing in our country. Not only our country, but the universe. You know, my passion, the way that I am driven for this is just, I can't even put it into words. Like, I don't know, like, I honestly can't put it into words. My heart, anytime someone's asked me this, like, my heart just melts. It's like the things that I would do with this title, like, you know, with being a beauty ambassador and having this title would open so many doors for these children. It's not about me, it's about them. So I would open programs, I would do workshops, I would make fundraising. It would be so much.
Well, the good thing about it is, I think, just being a part of this competition, you're able to do that with or without a title. And so even coming on the show and sharing what your advocacy is and what's near and dear to your heart is a step in that direction. I want to ask you to share some words with our viewers and young girls watching who might be in a similar situation that you were and probably are counting their future as lesser than because of perhaps what took place, maybe becoming a teenage mother.
Yeah.
Explain to them that that's not the end of that road.
No, it is not. When I found out that I was pregnant, it honestly felt like, I don't know, like my world was crumbling. I was super scared. It was not planned. I was just employed. So it was truly a struggle for me. But I remember my mom being so supportive of me, and she was like, babies are a blessing. They will push you to be what you are meant to be. So my baby, he has changed me. My baby.
Oh my goodness, he's so cute.
Yeah, so this little guy has just shown me how to be a better person. He pushes me. He's my inspiration. So if you're in a position that I was in, just know that you will make it out, and don't allow it to hold you down. Allow it to push you to move forward. Cause this little guy, hi.
And he has such a TV personality, smiling at us over here. Well, Libni, this has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing your story with me, and of course, our viewers by extension. Do you have any last words that you'd like to share with us before we wrap up?
Well, I just want to thank you guys for this opportunity. I'm just truly grateful. And if there is anyone out there that is struggling with their babies, reach out to me. I will try my very best. I will reach people. I will help open doors for you, so don't be afraid.
And I know that there is a voting process taking place.
Yes, there is.
How can we vote for you?
All right, so all you have to do is message 3444.
Okay.
And then you type the delegate's name that you want to vote for. So vote for me, guys.
3444.
Yes.
So 3 and then 3 fours. That's it right there. Libni Rodriguez, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
We take another quick break now, but don't go anywhere, because from one pageant conversation into another, this time we'll be talking about Miss World. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Carlton Flowers, and I'm the owner of Back to My Roots Art from the Heart, and in this store I produce a lot of handmade ornaments. Before I had access, it was a big problem because the tourist doesn't carry as much cash. We needed to have the machine to make the business a success. Dealing with the machine, I don't have to take time out from the store to go and or send people to go to the bank. I would recommend Belize Bank Digital Service because it has done a lot for me personally. It has done a lot for my business. It helps me with paying my bills online, and I really appreciate that the staff took time out and teach me what I needed to get done. So I'm very happy that now I can do it confidently on my own.
In our world that's always changing, one thing stays the same.
Our promise as Smart Belize to keep you connected.
Connected to the moments, the people, and the future that matter most.
With every new tower, our service upgrades, and every new smile, we're keeping our promise in building more than a network.
We're building a future, a family as Smart Belize. From Punta Gorda to Carnival, we are here not just as a network, but as your partner in progress.
We have grown significantly over the past 20 years, and we just keep growing. Thank you for placing your trust in us. We remain dedicated to providing meaningful connections that bring value in every way that matters to you. We continue to bring people together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
This summer, get ready to feel the heat, the beat, and the energy of Belize like never before. It's Summerfest 2025. Live performances from Belize's most talented kids. Come and enjoy food that sizzles and cold drinks for the kids. Cultural displays and loads of giveaways. Join us at Memorial Park in Belize City. See you all at 6:30 a.m. on June 20th for Summerfest 2025.
Where summer comes alive!
Save. The credit union way.
Member owners are encouraged to save regularly, borrow wisely, and repay promptly.
No use keeping the money in your pocket. Soon as you turn wrong, you know you ain't got it. So as money goes from hand to hand, give your cash to the umbrella man. I tell him you save. The credit union way. Save. It will make you rich someday.
My name is Leomar Langsert and I'm a teacher and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is the safety features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer. With these online that Belize Bank offer, is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
Welcome back. We are moving things along, and as I mentioned, we are still on the topic of pageants, but this one's a little bit different, from Miss Universe to Miss World. Joining us is Idali Saldivar. She is the executive director of the ILS Phoenix organization. I understand that's like the head organization here in Belize for the Miss World Belize organization.
Yes.
Yeah. And joining us also are two delegates. We have here with us Shante Torres, as well as Leila Alarbesh, both Miss World delegates. Ladies, Thanks so much for joining us. You all look so stunning. Wow, it's just such a beautiful space in here right now. Let's talk about Miss World. Just before the break, we had a conversation surrounding Miss Universe, and I want to begin by differentiating the difference between the two pageants. They're both international, both definitely world-renowned, and I kind of call them the big leagues of pageantry, right?
Yes.
But how different are or is Miss World from Miss Universe?
I don't like comparing them.
Okay.
But let's start there.
Okay.
But the difference, there isn't a swimsuit competition in the Miss World pageant. They have the top model competition instead, and they're highly focused on the Beauty with a Purpose project, which is an advocacy based around community service, something that the delegates are passionate about.
Okay. One of the things I have to highlight, and I sort of spoke about it before the break when we were discussing Miss Universe, is how much pageantry has shifted from just having this beauty ambassador to now an ambassador with a cause. An ambassador who has a voice and wants to speak about something that's near and dear to them. Usually that involves some type of challenges taking place across the world. So when we talk about these beauty ambassadors that have advocacies and are volunteering within their communities, what are the types of advocacies that we're seeing coming out of these delegates here in Belize for this year?
Oh, for this year, do you guys want to talk about your... I'll hand it over to them.
All right. Well, let's begin with you, Layla. You are, how old are you? Can you share your age?
I'm
19. You're 19. You are extremely tall, stunning. But let's talk about your advocacy and why you decided to be a part of the Miss World pageant this year.
Yes, so what I love about Miss World is the fact that that's the main focus. You know, beauty isn't just with what's around you or your appearance, it's a lot with your character and what's dear to you, your morals, your standards, and how you treat people on a day-to-day. That's really what sticks with people and something that doesn't fade. So when I chose my Beauty with a Purpose, I care a lot about when it comes to advocacy around the world. A big part of my heritage is also from the Middle East, which is also why I choose to major in it. But we see a lot of what's going on overseas, whether it's the Middle East or just around the world when it comes to humanitarian crises, genocide. There's a lot of things that are going on and a lot of things that need to be recognized. And sharing the advocacy is a big step, and educating others is also another big step to being able to reverse the damage that's already done and just build towards a better future. What I do with mine is it's not only about just educating those around you of these problems, but finding solutions and means of being able to help out. So, you know, there's not necessarily a lot that one person can do. The value and weight is within numbers. So whether that's sharing what's going on or building a community that's able to help just develop better means of being able to fix these problems. So what I did for my high school, I started my first Muslim Student Association, and through that we were able to make many fundraisers and feed the homeless within the area. I'm originally from Los Angeles, and there's a huge homeless population that resides all around the county. So even just with one fundraiser, we were able to feed over 70 homeless individuals within the span of a day. So that was just the beginning steps, you know, building a community and being able to extend it outwards. So it's not just limited to Muslims. Like, yes, it is a pillar within our faith, but it's supposed to be a means of including other people. So being able to be inclusive of everyone, no matter their background, no matter their race, their religion, all are welcome. The main purpose is to really just shed light on these issues and make it a means of being able to unify within a world where there's so much division.
Beautifully said. All right, Shantae, let's talk about you and your advocacy.
My Beauty with a Purpose started because I'm an educator. And being an educator, having that daily encounter with my students, I'm able to see their mindsets, their upbringings, and especially their struggles. So therefore, I realized that so many of our young people have a negative view on their life, and they feel in a sense defeated. So I created a project titled Read, Speak, Lead, and this project just aims to instill identity back in our children, allow them to find their value and their worth through focusing on reading, public speaking and communication, leadership. So this project is not just about empowering our children, but empowering our future. Because when we have a generation that know who they are and feel empowered, that leads them to make better decisions, leading to better leaders, better policies, better solutions, and so much more. So I wanted a project that focused to benefit the future. And I knew that it starts with our children.
You know, some critics might say you don't necessarily need a title to be able to share your thoughts and use your voice in this way. What's the weight of the Miss World organization if one of these ladies emerge as the winner and represents this international organization?
Because the Beauty with a Purpose project is the main focus of Miss World. It started in the 1970s. They've been using the pageantry as a platform across so many countries, over 100+ countries, and every year they accept around between 100 to 130 countries where they amplify the voices of the young women, and they have so many remarkable stories. And what it would do for Belize is whoever becomes Miss World Belize, that person gets to take their advocacy on an international stage.
Now, I have to go back to you, Layla, because I think that it's very unique seeing someone of your heritage and using your voice in this way to highlight, one, the plight that's taking place not only here in Belize but across the world, especially the Middle East, that we have seen documented on various international outlets, just a lot of challenges and war taking place. Yes. Is this a bit more personal to you, using this platform to highlight some of the challenges of people that, you know, are being massacred for nothing?
Yes, I do have family friends that are currently within Gaza that I keep in contact with, so it really is personal. My grandmother, she was a heavy advocate for that cause as well. You know, even just working within the children in schools overseas within Palestine at near Al-Aqsa, and visiting those masjids and just helping the community there. So a big root of my passion for this isn't just my heritage or the experiences of my family, but even just seeing people close who I hold dear to me being affected by this, not just within there, but all throughout the Middle East. You know, even within my country, Libya, there's a lot going on. Lebanon, like all over the Middle East, and not just there. You have the Uyghurs that are in China that are suffering. You have, you know, the people of Congo and Sudan. There's a lot of massacres and genocides that are taking place that we don't even know much about, or that aren't spoken of very much, or even being undermined. And when it's being silenced, that's just being complicit in what's happening to them. So it's very important to be able to shed light and educate ourselves and educate other people to understand what's going on, and not just depending on the media for information, but doing your own research to better understand what's going on and figure out means of being able to help those people. There's too much going on within this world that we're just sitting and watching. You know, it's easy for us to be able to turn on and off a TV screen to shut off our phones, but it doesn't change what's happening to these people overseas. And they're people like me and you are. You know, everyone, they have their own feelings, their own experiences. You know, a mother who has her love for her child is undeniable, you know. So seeing how many children, if anything, are being affected by this is also really personal. I'm very young still, so even just thinking from my standpoint and from a standpoint of being a mother in the future, how I would want to see my kids live in an environment where that's their reality and they don't have the power to be able to make those changes. So if we're able to advocate for these people and provide them a better means of life and just even the right to life in general, it encourages us to live in a state of peace of understanding each other, having more empathy and compassion is what we really need within this world. Thinking more collectively rather than individually. You know, all those aspects really contribute to the society we live in. If we keep operating off of, you know, an individualistic mindset, you're not thinking about the betterment of anyone around you, and that's prone to just falling. It's not going to be successful.
Very true. Well, I do want to get an overview of when the pageant is and how we can support these ladies.
Okay, so the pageant is going to be this Saturday, June 14th at the Best Western Belize Biltmore Plaza. And we have 5 delegates vying for the title. You can purchase your tickets at the Best Western Belize Biltmore Plaza. They have VIP tickets available only. They've sold out on general tickets.
Oh, wow.
And we have tickets available at Marlene's Closet in Belmopan. They have both general and VIP, but they have limited remaining.
Okay, what's the price of the VIP tickets? You said that's the only one that's left?
Yeah, VIP tickets, that's $45. Okay. And then general tickets, that is $25.
But those are already all gone, guys, so secure your VIP tickets. Ladies, as we wrap up this conversation, can I get some final thoughts from you guys? Encourage us to come out and support, and of course, just speak more about why you decided to be a part of this.
Well, I just want to thank you for having me, honestly. And I ask that you all come out and support us on that special night. Mm-hmm. I really believe about my initiative, my advocacy, which is Read, Speak, Lead, because I know that our children are the future. I already said that. But it's even deeper than that. Being in the classroom, I have realized that so many of our children are dropping out. They are dropping out and they don't want to go to school anymore. They are not even giving their best in school. Some of them is because of identity issue, their lack of confidence. And if we continue at this pace, what future do Belize have? Because so many of our children are not even having perspective, goals, aspiration. They rather go maybe in call centers in these different areas that cannot contribute to our country. So I just really want to have a generation of children that are going after every dream. I want to be a doctor. When I go in that classroom, so many of them, I want to be a doctor, a lawyer. How many lawyers do we have?
We were just talking about dreams this morning.
Yes, how much doctors do we have? How many of these things do we really have? So I just want our children to not just hold their dreams inside, but release it to the world. Yeah. So I just ask that you come out, as I said, support, and I thank you. Yeah. And yes.
Beautiful. All right, let's move along.
Yes, I also want to say thank you for having us on the show to not only just talk about the pageant and what's going on, but even just our own personal pursuits, our interests, and getting to know us more individually. It's a great opportunity. I also want to thank ILS Phoenix for this opportunity as well. We've been able to experience a lot of fun activities throughout the week, just building up to the pageant day, a lot of preparation, and just a lot of guidance and advice from the directors as well. It's a great opportunity to meet many girls who are from Belize, incredible women.
A sisterhood.
Yes,
a sisterhood. It's a bond.
It's a bond, and you know, when I come back to visit, I always have a group of people who I know that I can always check in with, and you know, it's just good to be able to have that bond with people, not just where I live, but elsewhere. So.
So I'd like to start by saying thank you guys for giving us this moment, this platform for us to talk about the Miss World Belize pageant under the ILS Phoenix. I'd just like to say thank you to all our sponsors who have pitched in, the Belize collection, Shael, Amar. We have a bunch of different sponsors, and I do apologize if I forgot your name in this very moment, but thank you guys, thank you all for supporting us, and I do hope that I see I hope that we have a good turnout. You guys come out and support your favorite delegate, or even if you don't have a favorite delegate, just come out and support the young woman who would be representing Belize at Miss World.
Beautiful. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
I have no doubt whoever wins, it's a great selection. I just met 2 of the 5, and they're solid, guys. They're really solid. All right. We're going to take a final break, but don't go anywhere because we have one more conversation to look forward to. Are you excited about Carnival season? That's the discussion when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
Benny's is kicking off Father's Day with popping deals for dad. In the month of June, visit a Benny's near you and get 19 to 25% off selected items such as Milwaukee and Axie power tools, Charbroil barbecue grills, car care products, Karcher pressure washers, and much, much more. Make dad happy with popping deals for dad in June, only at Benny's.
Benny's, Benny's, oh, Benny's, 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 oh.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Fulltech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy 8. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
Ignite the innovator in you with Dell. Cellular World is an authorized partner for Dell Technologies. Whether you're looking for equipment for personal use or to transform your business, Dell Technologies can provide you with the right equipment to suit your needs. Dell is more than just desktop computers and laptops. The full line also includes monitors, data storage solutions, keyboards, docking stations, and other accessories. This is technology that makes it possible and provides solutions for every situation. Shop for your Dell products at Cellular World, your #1 Dell authorized partner in Belize, and get all the technology you want for less. Bring your brightest ideas to life with intelligent technology. Cellular World, authorized Dell partner.
This summer, get ready to feel the heat, the beat, and the energy of Belize like never before. It's Summerfest 2025. Live performances from Belize's most talented kids. Come and enjoy food that sizzles and cold drinks for the kids. Cultural displays and loads of giveaways. Join us at Memorial Park in Belize City. See you all at 6:30 a.m. on June 20th for Summerfest 2025.
Where summer comes alive!
And welcome back. For our final conversation this morning, we have been joined by representatives of the Belize Carnival Association. We have with us the president of the BCA, Patrick Thompson. Good morning, Patrick.
Good morning, Mr. Patrick.
And he's joined by Eugene Tench, the support Trench, the support officer and the PR for the Belize Carnival Association. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Carnival season once again.
Confetti.
Yes, not a regular carnival season this time.
Okay.
We are celebrating our 50th year of Carnival in Belize.
Oh, so the golden one.
Yes, the golden.
Golden Jubilee of Carnival.
Yes.
Right. What does 50 years come with?
It comes with a lot of carnival that has been produced within the 50 years, and we have like so much people to thank for making Carnival what is it today. And we actually came up with a theme for the 50th anniversary of Carnival.
What is that theme?
Golden Dreams,
Vibrant streets.
50 years of mass and celebrations.
Nice. All right, so leading up to Carnival Day in September
6th.
September 6th, right?
Right, Road
Good.
March.
So, how many bands are we looking at? What's going to be different this time around versus last year? I know this year makes 50, but what's going to be special about this one?
One of the things, two of the things we have this year within our norm of what we do within a carnival season is that we're producing a 50th anniversary magazine that's going to highlight Carnival from the first band right up to 2024 who had participated in Carnival. We're going to put in all the kings and queen and road march champion in the book. We're going to feature some people who we feel like from Carnival begin, they're still around.
Yeah, some stalwarts, no?
Yes, the stalwarts.
Yeah,
you say you're busting a bubble there, Sadi. But like Stanley Lizama, we have people like Miss Marina Welcome.
Yes.
We have people like Derla Van, David Matos. These people have been in Carnival from they were little right up to adult, and they actually own band and performing.
And some of these people would tell you themselves, they're not even in Carnival for the business that it could potentially have. I mean, these are people who are preparing costumes from the year before. So for Carnival this year in September, at the end of Carnival last year, they started preparing again.
Yes, because at the association level, we start planning for Carnival like in October.
Yeah.
September, Carnival finish.
Next month after that, begin again.
You know,
it's really a labor of love.
Yes, it's a labor of love.
So what's the draw for you gentlemen? So it's no easy task as you rightly mentioned, but what keeps you going? What brings you to Carnival every year?
I think Sabrina mentioned it just for the love of it.
For me, it's the love of it.
Love of it. And you know, Isani, a lot of people have some negativity about Carnival because you won't have everybody enjoying the same thing. But I believe that it is and it will be still the biggest event in the September calendar. And you asked before what we have different for this year. Another is we're sponsoring a gala, 50th anniversary awards gala and dance banquet night, which will be held at the Princess Queen's Room July 12th, where we will honor 50 people and organization that we believe has contributed to Carnival within the 50 years. So that's another highlight that's different from the regular Carnival season. And we have, like you mentioned, during the Carnival, so we have to plan the Miss Carnival, which we usually have. That will be on August 2nd. Then we have the King and Queen competition, that's August 23rd. Then we have the mass camp visits. Then we go into the Jove, then the road march.
I was telling the gentleman earlier that for the first time I covered Carnival last year, and I have to admit, I did not have a sense of appreciation that I did before until I actually covered it. I will say though, that's also because I had to do my homework. When you're commentating an event like that takes hours, you know, you're talking about the build up to it. We've done coverages on the news every Culture Tuesday. We spoke about the individual bands and what the stories that they were telling, and you really understand that it's kind of like a means of our culture on its own. When we think of nations like Trinidad and Tobago, that it's really engraved in their identity. Belize is very different, but we recognize that there's an opportunity to include that in our tourism package. Are we getting closer and closer to that, or are we still struggling to see people invest in Carnival and really see it for what it can be?
Well, yes, I can see people. That is the part that we are on.
Okay.
But we still have a little bit of struggles, you know. But the bands are gradually gravitating towards having Carnival being a business rather than just come out and revel. Right? So we are on that part.
It's a slow progress though. I mean, considering that 50 years on, we're just kind of moving in that direction. Perhaps it should have been seen as a business from the onset or much earlier. That way, those who are investing in Carnival year on year could see some kind of return, because it's far from cheap. I've never participated in a Carnival. I only see the costumes and everything that goes into it, and it must be quite an expensive venture.
And depending on the band, some of these costumes are expensive.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's
and
an
one of
expensive
the
venture.
main thing for the costume is that I believe 90% of the materials are imported.
Yeah.
And the problem is that right now, I mean, all of us watch world news.
Yeah.
We're seeing tariffs being blown on countries. So to get some stuff that you used to pay, the price definitely went up. So the band leaders, I figured, had to raise their price for their costumes. So that's a challenge for them.
And there's no subsidy, no incentive.
No.
All comes out of pocket and sponsorship.
One of the things that, but the thing it believes is that because we're very competitive, we're kind of secretive. Is that I don't want you to know what I'm doing because I'm afraid. But one of the things we try to work on, and I think we discussed it a couple of years ago, is that if all the band leaders would come together and said, look, let us order from one big Carnival store, and maybe the government can say, look, if you bring in this, we're going to give you duty free or give you a tax free or something, because it comes in.
Give you some kind of an incentive.
Yes, like an incentive.
And for
What do
the
you think of
50th,
it? Yeah, go ahead, Patrick.
for 50th anniversary, we're in dialogue with the mayors of the different municipalities, where we want to bring bands from the different municipality into the Belize City Carnival.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, so far the dialoguing is good. So we should have marching band with instruments. You know, so there will be a lot of difference in this year Carnival.
Same route, but a lot more different.
Same route,
Yeah, same route. I think
I liked the route last year.
Yes,
It was nice.
We have favorable comments about the route, so I figured that's going to be it, at least for right now.
All right. Well, gentlemen, as we wind down this conversation, how would the Carnival Association like to be supported? We're just about a few months away, leading up to September, but I imagine work is still being done behind the scenes from all the bands, and we're celebrating 50 years, so we need that support.
Right, exactly. One of the things I hope that the Carnival bands have sent out solicitation letters to a lot of businesses and people to help them. Please, like what they say, don't put their file in file 13 and don't pay attention. Just look at it and support, because Carnival, everybody brings out their family to have a fun and to enjoy. And the minute you don't see a good show, you pass negative comments. But you can help a little by sponsoring one of the revelers in the band.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. What's the theme? 50 years?
No.
Wait.
No. Golden Dreams.
Golden Dreams.
Vibrant streets.
50 years of mass and celebration. Yes.
Right.
All right.
Right.
Beautiful. Well, that's a wonderful way to wrap up this morning. Isani, I don't know about you. We want to say thank you to all of our guests who joined us this morning. It was quite a vibrant show, if you ask me. I know that there are a couple things we might be following in our news later. Anything you can identify?
We're still pretty much following what's taking place with the unions.
Okay.
That's going to be one of those conversations that's going to carry on for a few weeks, right?
Yeah, we were just talking about how long it's been since then. But we will be providing any updates that come along in our News at Noon newscast, and then, of course, our 6 p.m. newscast as well. Again, we want to say a huge thank you to all of our guests who joined us. It is June 11th, and if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to ya. And if you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oie@channel5belize.com. You can also catch us on Facebook, that's Open Your Eyes BC, as well as Instagram for behind the scenes content, that's OIE Belize. You can even call us or text us on our OIE phone number. That's right, we have a phone. That's 675-2555. Again, thank you so much for joining us, and please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow when you open your eyes.
To start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts open.
Have a wonderful Wednesday, Belize. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and SMART, bringing people together.